Hello.
There he is. Mr. Blaney, how are you?
How are y'all?
Good, good, good. Let's not waste any time. Let's get rolling right into this deal. First of all, glad to see that you're able to get some working internet today. That's always a good thing.
Oh, sorry. You kind of froze for a second.
Yeah, of course, right? When I say something about you getting your internet going, you froze up.
Yeah.
Are you good now? I think so.
We'll find out. I don't know.
Hopefully. Okay. Hey, fresh off your All-Star win the other night, obviously still probably riding pretty high from that. So why don't you just real quick talk about what life has been like since that? And I have a specific question because you talked in the post race about maybe wanting to do something with that window net, like take it with you and frame it up or something. Did you figure out a plan for the window net yet?
Yeah, I think I got an idea. I'll hang it up somewhere. So I don't know. They said they can get it for me. So I think I'll save that one just because it's be a neat story behind it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that, and I think I got a decent spot picked out for it right now, and then maybe it'll move around throughout the years. But yeah, I'm excited to keep that thing.
All right, we got a lot of hands raised here, so let me just go ahead and start working it around the room here. Let's start off. First one that got it up was Rob Youngson from the podium finish. Rob, go ahead and kick things off. You're going to have to unmute yourself. Make sure you unmute yourself when I call on you, and go ahead and ask Ryan a question.
Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Good to see you. A couple of questions to start things off. Now, of course, today's a really slow news day with the race at Watkins Glen getting a bit intriguing because we have Kimi Raikkonen who will be joining you guys in the field this August. So how excited are you to race against Kimi and see how things go against him?
Yeah, the Iceman. Big Kimi fan. I enjoyed growing up watching him race, F1, and remember when he ran a truck for Kyle. And it's really cool. I mean, I honestly, I think what Trackhouse did with announcing that, I think was brilliant. I think it's a great idea, especially if you can, however many races they want to run that third car and kind of have some other drivers in it. I think it's really cool. And I think that just, heck, I don't mind. I think it's great that drivers from other series want to come in and try out, NASCAR and stuff like that. I think it's awesome for the sport. I think it's healthy, and it's going to be really cool to get to speak with him. I don't know how many words he'll say to me. He doesn't seem like a guy of many words, but it's just cool. I think it's awesome, and see how he does. It'll be fun.
For sure. My last question for you would be, there's no better thing than momentum on your side. And even though the All-Star race, it's just a non-points race, how much do you look forward to carrying the momentum from Texas and see how it carries over to possibly winning the 600 at Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get momentum, it's good. I think the biggest thing that helps us with momentum is, I think our whole group, all of Penske, we kind of tried maybe a little bit something new with our cars at Texas, because we've been, lacking a little bit of speed, and that's something we've been really working hard on trying to find, and we kind of came to Texas with a little bit different idea of how to do things, and seemed to work. I thought all our cars were pretty fast, and you hope it carries over to other races and tracks and stuff like that, and for the 600 this weekend. So that's all. That was the biggest thing for me of looking back on that race, was like, man, I thought our cars were really fast, and you hope that carries forward.
Thanks much, man. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right, let's move it over to Claire B. Lang. Claire, go ahead.
Thank you. After I left you in Victory Lane, I went to the hauler of NASCAR and talked to Scott Miller with a conversation about the window net and the caution, whatever. And then, of course, everybody's been talking about it all week long. Have you rethought any of this? Have you rethought taking your window net down? Have you thought, well, next time I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it later? Or, what have your thoughts been? Congratulations on the win, by the way, as you came out of this race with all the conversation about it.
Yeah, I mean, heck, it's not like I put it down 2 seconds after we crossed our finish line. I mean, I waited a whole lap to take it down. And then that's when I found out that it wasn't over yet. So I don't know. We've joked next time. I'm not even going to, even if I don't care if, next one we win, I'm going to come out the roof hatch. I'm not even going to undo my window net just to say, I'm not even going to touch the thing. So Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and not understand rules were, or thinking we took the checkered. And so, yeah, we joked if I win another one, I'll come out the right side or the roof hatch just to kind of stick it to everybody. I ain't touching that window net. So we'll see.
Did you talk to NASCAR at all about the end of the race? Did you have a conversation with them?
I did. They, we had a conversation in Victory Lane about it. And they gave me their explanation on, first off was their ruling on, the window net situation. And when I got it latched, that they deemed it safe and saw two hands were on the wheel and I was warming my stuff up and it wasn't becoming unlatched. So they gave me their explanation on that. Then they also, secondly, gave me their explanation on that they made a mistake and shouldn't have thrown the caution for a car brushing the wall. So, yeah, they talked to me about both those things, and I thought it was great that Scott Miller, did a presser outside the trailer and explained themselves, and they admitted their mistake on the caution side of it, and probably shouldn't have thrown it. But so, I mean, to me, I appreciated them coming to me and getting their kind of thoughts on things and where they were at. So it was a lot more clear to me because I didn't, I don't know those things. I don't know what the caution was for and stuff like that. So that they kind of explained everything to me, and I appreciate them doing that.
Real quick, you're looking to become the 9th driver to win the All-Star race and the Coke 600 in the same season. Would that be huge for you?
It'll be great. It'd be awesome to do, and so hopefully we got that.
Thank you. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's go ahead over to Marty from RSN. Marty, go ahead. Marty, you got to take yourself off mute, buddy. Sorry about that.
Sorry, my bad. Stupid Zoom. So, Ryan, thanks for the time, man. So following up on Rob's question, I mean, I know we're only one road course racing with the next gen, but I mean, how do you think Kimi will probably do at Watkins Glen with this next gen car?
It's hard to tell. I'm not sure. I feel like it's going to be tough to just jump in it with 20 minutes of practice and be he's obviously an amazing road racer and an F1 champion, but that's hard for anyone to do, jump in a new car. And I'm sure I don't know if they can, I don't even think they can go test anywhere with that thing. The rules don't allow it. So yeah, it'll be tough for him, just jumping in something brand new and going to a place to where maybe he hasn't run at very much and just trying to learn a new car and new everything. But I mean, he's a great race car driver, and I'm excited to see how he does. But it's going to be tough for sure. It would be for anybody. But like I said, it's going to be cool to be around him and all that stuff. So, but yeah, it'll definitely be tough for him to kind of get going with the limited practice that we got.
And then we had Ben Kennedy on yesterday talking about Gateway. He said that the drivers are probably going to be braking a lot in the corners and the drivers are going to love it. What are you expecting and how much prep have you done to get ready for this race? I know you've got one truck start in the past for the top 10 there.
Yeah. It was a great track. Really, I thought it's a great facility. They do a great job, and I think they're very deserving of a cup race. The way that they've kind of grown, and they've always hosted good events, from Indy cars and trucks and stuff like that. So, yeah, we've kind of been going over some of the Gateway stuff, on sim and things like that. And yeah, I think there's some heavy braking spots, and it's another track where you're going to see us downshifting. That's just what it's going to be. So, that'll be a lot of shifting there for sure. But it's what we do nowadays, and I think it'll be a good place. So I'm excited to get there just because I thought it was a fun track, and we'll see how it is. But I think it's going to be great for that area and that speedway. And like I said, I think they're very deserving of a cup race.
Thank you, bud. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right. I see about 6 hands up. So we're going to go to Bob Pockruss and then Kelly Crandall and then Chris Osborne, just so you guys can be prepared. So Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm just curious, have you taken the window net and put it somewhere, or is it still on a car, or what?
Yeah, I said earlier, I'm working on getting it. The car just got back on Tuesday, so they're working on getting that thing for me, and you know, I think I picked out a good place for it, but yeah, I'm definitely going to want to save that one and maybe frame it or something. And but we'll see. Yeah, but I'm excited I'll be able to get it. So.
And I also wanted to ask you, looking at the 600, do you feel like you'll get to, you know, a lot of teams would split the stages. Do you think you'll get that far, or do you think there'll be cautions from tire wear and that type of thing?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You know, it's really hard to tell before we get there and kind of see what tire wear looks like in our practices and stuff like that. So I hope tire issues people how long that race is. So we'll see. But it's hard to tell until we kind of get a gauge on how they're wearing when we get on track Saturday. But I hope not. Hope there's no issues.
Thank you.
Okay, Kelly Crandall, you are up.
Thank you, Matt. Ryan, I got two for you. First off, Sunday's also the Indy 500. Any interest in keeping an eye on how Jimmy does, and will you be rooting for him?
Yeah, I definitely make sure I watch as much as I can. You know, that day before you can usually watch most of it before we have to go to intros and stuff like that. So I look forward to watching that. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for Jimmy after my Penske guys, you know, Scott, Joseph, and Will. But I will be rooting for Jimmy just because I think it's going to be really special for him. And it seems like, you know, talking to him, he's been having a lot of fun up there and been doing a pretty good job. So, yeah, that's something I always make sure I watch just to see how those guys are doing. And obviously, first, I want our Penske guys to win, but I will be rooting for Jimmy to run fourth. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but it'll be a fun time. I hope he really enjoys it. I know he'll appreciate that he gets to do that. And, you know, I mean, he's very deserving to get to run the 500. That's going to be fun for him.
Yeah. The second thing was, where are you guys at in terms of cars? Have you been told anything in terms of having to be conservative, or are you guys comfortable with where your fleet is?
I think we're in a good spot right now, from what I understand. So, you know, obviously you don't want to just go out and be reckless and waste cars and stuff like that. But I feel like the teams beginning of the year were pretty stressed out, understandably so, and we were too. But I feel like everything's gotten probably not as caught up as we want to be, but it's getting there. So I feel like we're in a good spot. I'll be completely stressed out about, gosh, if cars get tore up. So.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, we're going to go to Chris Osborne, followed by Brendan Carroll and Mitchell Brewer. So, Chris, go right ahead.
Hey, thanks. Good morning, Ryan. I spoke to your crew chief, Jonathan Hassler, last year when he was crew chief of the 21. We talked about Aero loose, Aero tight quite a bit. And then fast forward to this year with the Gen 6. Is this car an improvement on Aero tight and Aero loose? And also, is there something you guys are able to do with the setup to kind of counteract? Because it looked like at Texas quite a few times, a lot of people, you in particular, got very Aero tight behind somebody.
You know, months and you know, the way that and Texas really, you know, it's pretty narrow and not able to kind of get away from people as far as different lanes. So you get so Aero tight behind people that you have to run the car setup super free if you're in traffic. But, you know, fresh air under from where you need to be. Like, you know, we were fortunate at Texas that we were kind of in the top 3, 4, 5 all race to where we didn't have to like swing. Well, we got to loosen this thing way up because we're in traffic now. Then that's what kind of happened through the 11. You know, they really loose, but when he kind of backed up. So that's something you have to balance, and that's tough to do. It's hard to kind of find that in between, because to be free enough for traffic and drive through the field, you're just wrecking loose, and you can't drive these cars that loose in clean air. So it's been tough for teams to try to figure out, and drivers to try to figure out, okay, where's a happy medium? There's not really a happy medium. So that's been tough. And I think Texas was kind of it kind of opened everyone's eyes of like, man, these cars are they struggle when it's a narrower lane, and so hopefully we can try to figure some of that stuff out and moving forward to make them a little bit better in traffic, and that's something everyone's trying to be working towards. You just hope it gets a little bit better here.
I appreciate it.
All right, let's go to Brendan Carroll. Brendan.
So Ryan, what are you gonna do with the $1 million? First question.
Yeah, I don't. My dad and I don't know, and then probably buy the family something nice.
And my second question for you
Oh,
is, oh, sorry, you keep freezing up here. It's hard to tell when you're.
I got Starlink, and Elon is letting me down right now on the Starlink side.
And my second question for you was,
Probably
have you asked Roger Penske if you could run the Indy 500?
again, I'm breaking up.
Yeah, the question was about have you asked Roger if you can run the Indy 500?
On a little bit, and watching and it's been amazing to be with the Penske group because you get to know those guys and talk to those guys and understand the kind of the ins and outs of the 500. And the month of May is very important at Penske. So yeah, one day I'd love to do it, and I'm with a good group that would be able to do it. Might have to win a championship first to be able to go over and do that. So that's the goal. But I'd love to do it one day, do the double. That would be really cool.
Thanks, Ryan. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right, I see three more. Daniel McFadden, followed by Zach, and then Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Daniel.
All right, thanks. Hey, Ryan, so you've been in like the top 2 in points since COTA. Have you felt like overlooked at all over these last couple months, or do you kind of like sneaking up on people?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like points races or things like that, it's easy to get overlooked. Honestly, the last month or so, we haven't had incredible speed. So something that we're working on. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we just got to be up front a little bit more and win races. But even if we start winning races, I don't know if we'll probably still get overlooked, and that's just kind of what it's about. So best.
Okay. My second question is like, looking back to when you guys were testing at Charlotte back in the winter, what stood out to you about how this car performs there compared to the previous generation of car?
Yeah. So I never got to test the low downforce package at Charlotte. I was on the high spoiler day. I didn't get to do the lower one, but just comparing like last year's 550 high downforce package to what I ran in the next gen car, next gen car had more drag, kind of going slower down the straightaways, and it had a lot of the same characteristics that it has now. Is like if it kind of steps out, it's easy to spin out, just because there's no side force on the thing. There's no quarter panel on them. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, the biggest thing is the dirty air side of it. I mean, the car's they got to drive, a little bit better in traffic, I think, for it to be an improvement. And do they do that to an extent? I feel like they do a little bit. There are some things I think it does better. There are some things I think it does worse, but hopefully Charlotte gets wide. I mean, that's the biggest thing that's going to help that track. If it just gets widened out and we can go around the wall, if not, it's just going to be fighting for the bottom and things like that. It'll be a long night. So I just hope it gets wide out there. And that's when this car is really good. If it widens out and you can kind of run the fence around the bottom, around the middle, kind of get some air on your nose. That's when this racing is really good. But this car, like you saw it at Fontana and Vegas, where a track's wide enough to where there's multiple lanes to go, and it's easy to make mistakes, and that's what makes racing good is if it's easy for drivers to mess up and make mistakes and be on the verge of wrecking. That's when you see people go forward and backwards. And it takes a wide track to do that. Because if it's not wide, like Texas, people just park it on the bottom and you can't pass them. So you got to have a wide track.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Let's go to Zach and then Lee.
Hey, Ryan, obviously, Texas was a step in the right direction, but you touched on it that the last month or so hasn't been great with results, 4 straight points races outside the top 10. What did you feel like the team was either lacking or not executing in that stretch? And I know you kept referring to speed. Is it as simple as that, or was there more to it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the last month have been okay. I just don't and contend for wins here. And some of the circumstances I feel like were, we didn't finish as good as I thought we could have. We went to Kansas and I thought we could have ran, 5th probably at best. And we just got put in a bad spot on the last restart and ended up outside the top 10. And I hit the wall. So, and Dover was kind of the same thing. We were running pretty good up towards the front and, we had some pit road issues and had to go to the back. So that's some circumstantial stuff, but obviously you want your cars to be a little faster and makes everything a lot easier when your car is faster. I wouldn't say we've been from where we started the year, but hopefully
All right, Ryan. Yeah, sorry you chopped up there towards the end, but I think we got the gist of it. So let's roll over to Lee.
Excuse me. Oh, am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
I've got a question for you, Blaney.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your fundraiser this week, and I was wondering if Josh kicked everyone's ass.
Yeah. No, thanks for asking. We had our Ryan Blaney Family Foundation event. I thought it went great. A lot of people came out. We had a lot of great partners that really pitched in. Dex Imaging was a huge one. Body Armor, Flag and Anthem, which is a sponsor of mine. They did an amazing job and really pitched in. Then we had a lot of other partners there. Ford was out. Advanced Auto Parts was out there. And UPMC was out there as well. So that's great. And we had 2 of the fellows out that are currently going through that program to, one day open up their own clinics and treat these concussion, issues. And we had Dr. Mickey Collins out who treated my dad and Dale Jr. and a lot of people who he's been a revolutionary in the concussion world and really helping people out. So that was a great event. I couldn't thank everybody, enough for coming out and supporting. We raised a lot of money for those guys. So it was a lot of fun. It was pretty stressful because that was our first event that we've put on. We've been trying to do something for the last couple of years and just hadn't happened, obviously. And we built that Bronco like 3 years ago and auctioned it off at Barrett Jackson, but that wasn't an event. That wasn't having a couple hundred people out and trying to entertain them and for them to be fun or, have fun and stuff like that. So they did a great job. My mom, sister, a lot of people are involved in that in my family of setting that up. And I mean, they were the reason that was possible. So it was a fun event for sure. And all went to a good cause. Happy for everybody to come out.
That's fabulous. One other question. There have been 11 winners this year, and you hear the debate, will we get to 16? Will this finally be the year? And when you think about you're still on the table, Harvick's still on the table, MTJ's on the table, Austin Dillon's won the race this weekend. Reddick looks like any minute it's going to happen. Do we get to 16?
I think we do. I really do think we will get to 16, and you hope you're part of that 16, obviously. So, I mean, just for that reason, I feel like there are people who haven't won yet this year who've been really close to winning, and they have cars and teams that can win any given week. And you see it, you saw it at Kansas. Kurt's been good all year, but they haven't shown that speed all year. He was brutally fast at Kansas. And that's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, you got a guy who's 20 something in points that all of a sudden they hit it right and they go win the race, and it's over and done with. And you're like, wow, that's someone below me in points that have jumped me now. So, I mean, that can happen any week that a team finds something that have maybe not shown that amount of speed all year, and they go win the race. So, yeah, you got to definitely win. And I feel like you're going to have to be a winner in the regular season, because I could see us getting to 16 and obviously maybe even more than that. So
Appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we got time for one more, so let's close it out with Mitchell Brewer. Mitchell, go ahead.
Ryan, obviously there's pressure to win every single weekend, but with everything going on this weekend, with it being a big weekend for Team Penske and this being a crown jewel race, is there extra pressure to perform this weekend?
It's obviously a big day. I don't know if there's pressure, but you want to be, obviously you want to win the race because it's a huge race and huge event, but I think that just comes with every weekend. I mean, you understand what you're racing for every weekend, and a win is a win, but you understand, hey, this is I'd say one of the crown jewel events. And one of the coolest things that we could do as a company is win the Indy 500 and the 600. There might be more pressure if one of our guys go out and win Indy. We'll learn about that right before a race. We're like, oh, damn, we got to win tonight to make it, to make it a double. That would be so super cool. So we'll see, but there might be added pressure if those guys go out and one of them wins the 500. So we got to make it a clean Penske sweep for the weekend. So that might add a little pressure, but we'll see. Just go out and do the best you can, and it's just another race, and that's kind of how you have to approach it.
Thank you, Ryan.
No problem.
All right, Ryan. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. Get that Mustang back in victory lane.